It just gets better every time.
I'm like sitting trying not to laugh. This is going on.
Laugh. That's why I made it that way. Yeah, so I'm Benito Garcia from Go RPGs presents The Most Rad Nerd, and I could not be more happy than to have Ahmnestria on again. It's getting to be a thing, I think.
Super.
You are streaming tonight on Twitch.
I sure am.
And I am also streaming on Twitch. My first time ever.
This is your first Twitch stream?
Ever of all time.
Ooh, exciting. This is only my third, technically.
Yeah. That's cool. So it's going well over on the Twitch?
Steady for now. Unfortunately, there was one video of me just whining because I was doing bad at Halo. But...
oh, you're doing bad at Halo? Is that the new Halo?
Yeah, Infinite. I was like, yeah, let's play it. I want this. And then it was just a miserable. I did so bad. And
oh. Are you watching the series?
Not yet. I want to. I just don't have Paramount Plus.
We watched the first episode and it was okay. It suffered a little bit from CGI, some of the stereotypical CGI things that happen that sort of take you out of a show or movie. And we noticed it right away and we haven't gone back. But I don't know if that's why. I don't know if it was the CGI part of it or not. And I get that the majority of it's going to be CGI. Like I get it. So I'm switching backgrounds. Hold on.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. Now the reason I switched this background is when I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. Okay, so look at the background. Can you see my cursor moving on the screen?
No.
No. Look at the bottom. Look what's going on down there. So look, this guy's tying off his arm that has been ripped off. Can you see that?
Yeah, next to the lady's butt.
Right. So that's what my friend said. He was like, so he's like, is the other half of that guy's arm in her butt? And she clenched it off and now he has to tie it off. I guess I'm the only one who thinks that's funny. Okay.
I was just thinking about it. I'm like staring at it like, how would that work?
All right. We're here tonight to talk about character traits, personalities, alignments, and things that piss off the party that your character's playing in. Or you may be playing in a group and there's somebody else's character that's pissing you off because of their character traits. And so this was Ahmnestria's idea to do a show on that. So I'm going to turn it over to her to start out.
Okay.
And go.
I think that's at the top of everyone's list is the party member that is always stealing the loot. I feel like that's common among most parties. If there is a member that is trying to steal all the loot, it'll piss everybody off.
Yeah, that would piss me off. I don't know that I set it up this way or both of my games just did it this way. They just share the loot.
Yeah, so in my games right now, it's not an issue, but I have heard that like usually it's rogues. Not to be discriminatory, but usually it's the rogue tries to either take the loot before the party can even get to it or steal from the party while they're sleeping. And if that's how your character is, you honestly should not be traveling with a party. Like, that party's gonna kill you.
They will kill you at some point. Well, and I think generally also aren't rogues generally some sort of neutral character anyway?
Aren't they usually kind of edgy, I think. But they're usually like a chaotic neutral. I feel like most people play them as.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Exactly. So they can get away with that stuff.
But like if you're
And
constantly stealing, like not quite neutral.
right. Let me read what chaotic neutral is. I'm sure this is about every rogue out there. Someone who is chaotic neutral believes in doing what they want. This person makes decisions according to what suits them best and hates being told what to do. Those who are chaotic neutral are not interested in killing everyone they meet, but they are also unlikely to join any crusade for justice. So, yeah, I think that describes probably most rogues. So the rogue class came from the thieves class from way back in the day. Way back when I used to play, you could play a thief. A rogue wasn't even a thing. And so if you were going to play a thief and you're going to be in a party setting or a traveling party or group, generally you stole to help the group, or you stole things that would help further the campaign, or things like that. Generally, if you played a thief earlier on, the trait wasn't, you weren't constantly trying to steal from your party and piss them off. You were trying to, do good for the group and the party to help move the thing forward. So I don't remember, earlier on, I don't know if we necessarily, had alignments that we were, dead stuck to, but it seems like earlier on that wasn't really a thing. As to where you're talking now, yeah, rogues can really piss everybody off.
I've met some nice ones that they're like the Robin Hoods, they steal from the people that deserve it, quote unquote. But
Yeah.
I feel like if you're stealing from your party, even if that's what your character would do, for the sake of the people that you're playing with, nice.
Right. And that's what's funny too, is if somebody brings it up and they're like, hey, like, you're with our group, you're supposed to be helping us. And whenever that happens, I always hear, well, that's what my character would do, or that's what my alignment says I should do. And so it's this weird double-edged sword of, you're trying to get along with the people you're playing with, but you're also trying to play your character correctly. And out of game, people get really upset and pissed off when the rogue steals from them.
Even if that is like what the character would do, the character is also capable of character development, or forming at least a little bit of a bond with the party.
Right. Yeah. Maybe hold off on your stealing from the party until we get this campaign done, or this, mission that we're on, and then go back to your evil ways. But for now, can we just get you to stop stealing all of our stuff? Would be great. So I have in one of my campaigns, I have an evil character who, through downtime, each time that we move on or they level up, he's working towards becoming not evil and working towards, neutral or good. It's based on his storyline. So, if he can do it, a rogue can do it. So tell me about your party. Who do you have in your party that does that?
Oh, well, the stealing is not an issue for me, but I've heard it from friends. My parties are all behaved, all friends.
Oh,
Well, I do have one that's constantly grumpy. So we always make fun of him for being grumpy. Which, looking to see, he's not watching this right now. When he comes to watch this later, he's gonna know I'm talking about him.
funny. So I think this came up. The example you gave me was Percy from Vox Machina, and his character, who has a funky personality. Is it a personality trait? It's not really. It's more
It's
of a help it.
I don't know. I don't think it's a trait, but it is like a part of that character. And I'm just trying, like, it worked okay in the show, but like in an actual group, would a character that has a secretly evil side to them, would that annoy their party, or would the party actually work together to solve it like they did it in the show?
Right. They were very forgiving to Percy. There was times he was pointing guns at them. There was other times where he was so close to, killing somebody. I'm surprised. I get it that the show has to go on, but I don't know that in my party, if that would have happened, or my games, I don't know if they would have just flat out tried to kill him.
I feel like my group would have killed him. They're just, oh, he's evil. I don't care that he's our friend. He's attacking us now.
Right. So how does that work though? Like how mad would that player be if the party killed his character and he was literally just playing a personality trait?
I feel like if that was in a game, I feel like the DM would have taken over just the when the demon possessed him. So if his comrades killed him, I feel like that player would be extremely upset.
Well, I agree, but then also do you have to go back and say, well, you know what? I was being a jerk and I did use, this trait did come out several times and I knew it was annoying you. Like do you kind of sometimes you have to think, well, maybe I had it coming. Like how mad could I really be if I was being that big of a jerk?
Does any player blame themselves?
That's true.
Everyone else is full. I'm dead.
So tell me, I have a good example, but tell me yours. What is the most, in all the games that you've played, or even as a DM, what is the most annoying thing that a player has done, either alignment wise or, again, personality trait wise, that just like you were completely fed up?
I don't know if this is so much of an annoyance thing, but like I've had players that needed to be the most badass, and everything they had to do had to go perfect. And if they rolled badly, they got upset. Most of these were in like one shots, so it's just like a one here and there. But like I run one shots with like large groups of about 9 players, which is hard to corral them. But I always had there was one in that group. Well, not quite. Anyway, so yeah, there's one person that I have DM for that they have had to be the top of the top. I don't know. It could just be like a DM thing. I don't know if the other players really cared.
Right. I gotcha. So we had brought a new player into the game. The game had already been going for a while, so it was going to be fairly easy to introduce this new character. They were literally just coming to a town, and so there was going to be a ton of people to meet, and so it was going to be easy to slip this guy into the game. And they come to town. They meet the guy. It's probably in a tavern, I would imagine. I don't remember exactly. I'm sure it was cliche-y. Met the guy. He seemed eager to join a crew, and they were, for the sake of letting him play the game, they of course agreed. They're looking for somebody to join their crew. And as the game went on that night, this all happened in the first meeting of the guy. They went to, it was the governor's, it was the mayor's house. So it was a mansion on top of the hill that overlooked the town. Anyway, as they got to, the mayor had been missing. So the party gets to the house. They kick in the front door, and there's zombies in the house. So the party starts to fight this handful of zombies, and the new guy just kind of wandered off and didn't help him fight. And so now he hasn't really split the party, too bad. It's just him wandering the halls of this mansion. And it wasn't a small house. It was pretty good size. So he would go to a closed door, and if it was unlocked, he would open the door. And of course, every room, had zombies in it. Well, he would open the door, see there was zombies in it, and then just walk off. And so the party's in the other part of the house trying to deal with zombies, and he let zombies out. So that annoyed everybody in the beginning. So then he goes to the next door, and then the next door, and then the next door. So he does about 6 doors and is letting zombies out. And it's getting to be more zombies than the party can handle. And so we took a break for a second, and everybody was like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, we just met your character. We're nice enough to let you play. Like, you got to stop. Like, what are you doing? He's like, well, that's what my character would do. And they're like, well, if you want to continue to play, we're going to need you to stop opening doors. So he's like, okay. So we come back after break to play, and they're trying to deal with the zombies that he's let out. He's like, I'm going to go to the second floor and see what's up there. And then opens the door. and then opens another door, and then opens another door. And all of these zombies are flooding out into the house again. So part of them going to the mayor's house, not only was the mayor missing, there was a major clue in the house that somehow they had found out was there. And so they went, one, to look for the mayor, and two, to find this major piece that they needed. Well, so now the house is full of zombies. They're losing. So the new guy goes, I'm just going to burn the house down. And they're like, well, you can't do that because we're still looking for this clue, this thing that we need. And guess what he says?
That's what my character would do?
That's what my character would do. So I don't remember if he fireballed or what he did. The entire house goes up in flames. Everybody scrambles to get out of the house. They get out of the house and watch the house burn down. So they don't know that if the mayor was in there that they were looking for. They obviously didn't find the clue they were looking for. So
suck if that missing mayor was in that house.
Yeah. So there is a perfect example of playing your character's alignment or personality or traits that's going to piss off the rest of the crew. So I think you really have to pay attention to, yes, you can play your character, but to a level, otherwise you're just going to make everybody mad. It's not going to be fun for anybody. And yeah, it sort of ruined the game that night. He played, I think, maybe 2 or 3 more times, and then he got ousted from not only the game, but the friend group and everything.
D&D's out here ruining friendships.
Yeah, ruined friendships. I don't think I've talked to the guy in over 2 years, probably.
Was he just like what was the character that his personality trait was opening all these doors?
He was literally just a bard.
How do you handle players attacking other players over monotonous things?
I usually just let it go. Like I don't think I've ever stopped anybody from P on P. Is that what it's called?
PvP?
PvP.
Did you say P on P?
Yeah, is it P on P? What's it called?
PvP.
PvP? That sounds like something.
Player versus PvP. Player.
So not player on player? Player on player.
I think that's a whole different genre.
That's something else that's happening. Okay, then. All right. Anyway, how do I handle it? I don't. I just kind of let them hash it out. Generally, if something happens that hasn't been out of spite or just to cause a fight, usually one character has pissed off another character by doing something. And I think in real life, not in real life, in gameplay, those confrontations, make sense. And I haven't really ever had anybody cast, a magic spell on somebody that would annihilate them or stab them with a sword. It's usually a fist fight of some sort.
So I had one interaction with a player. They had fallen under some sort of sleep spell, and they needed to take damage. My character used Shocking Grasp. Okay. Very just, this was a barbarian. Whatever, so they're tanky, like a little Shocking Grasp.
Sure.
So I Shocking Grasp, and it was like damage, like it wasn't. And they wake up, and because I had attacked them, they tried to attack me instead of oh, thanks for waking me up, like because the player knew that's what I was doing, but she's like, well, that's
right.
My character doesn't like being woken up. So and then there was like a whole bunch of rounds of them trying to attack me. Somehow I was dodging them, and I'm a magic user. I don't know how I was doing it, but I was dodging them. And they ended up rolling some weird rolls, not very good. Okay. There was something that was going to make them look silly, and I feel like the player did get upset.
Okay.
They were not hitting me.
Okay.
So, I don't know. That interaction I felt was a little strange.
Oh yeah. Is this anybody you'd ever had any problems with before, or it was just based on?
No, and it was just this one interaction, and something else game, but I don't know. Retaliation for when a party member is trying to help. Like right. I mean, in other campaigns we've had players slap other players because they needed to. The other
Right.
players are okay with it, but that was one instance where they were not okay. I should have left them sleep.
Well, you'll know next time. Right.
Oh, have you ever had players get rolling bad?
Yes, I have one particular player who gets very emotional when he doesn't roll well. He gets very emotional at a lot of things. And when we first started playing it, he was kind of hard to take, but he's a really good friend of mine. So just learning his quirks and the things that are going to make him mad and expecting these things to happen when things don't go well, it's not a big deal anymore. And as far as the players go, he's kind of shocking at first when he has these outbursts. And the same thing, once they got to play with him more and more, not only do they accept kind of his reactions to things, but I've noticed that they started to sort of poke at him and provoke some of these outbursts.
I guess it depends where the outbursts are directed. Are they at the dice? Are they just in general? Or are they at you?
It's so when things go bad, it's a statement of how bad things are going to everybody in the room, so that we all know how upset he is at a particular something that's happening, or if someone, I don't want to say stole his glory, but if he would like, because his charisma is good, so he would like to be the one who does all the talking to try to persuade people or get information. But I have another player who's very his personality is he's very type A, and so he jumps right in before the other guy can say anything, and the friend of mine who gets very upset at things has made it known to that person, hey, my charisma is better than yours, I should be the one talking. And then nothing changes, so he just doesn't speak up fast enough, and the other guy still jumps in and takes over. So everybody's kind of has figured out he's a lot of bark with no bite, and they're starting to kind of not poke at him personally, but poke at his character with their character, and it tends to cause some sort of outburst, and it makes for a good time. We all sort of chuckle and laugh about it. But he's a great guy, so nothing against him necessarily, but he is really fun to kind of see what's going to happen if something goes bad. I think we all look to him to see what's going to happen next. So, but really, if you think about it, it wouldn't be, I mean, how fun would it be though if you played with a group of people who were just all, I don't know, just all good characters? You kind of have to have that balance of somebody that's going to do, not just goofy things, but are going to kind of do mean and evil things, so that the party can react. Otherwise, it's just all rainbows and sunshine, and it would be, you got to have somebody who does the dirty work. If you're playing all good characters, they're not going to go beat somebody up, get information out of them.
I have a character who has a trait that could be annoying. She doesn't really come up too much. But my character that I play is a shadow sorcerer, and she is very dead set on killing bad people. But the problem with that is it's what she deems bad. An example was we were trying to let these guards do their job for a kingdom. They were guarding this room of a magic relic we needed to get into to boost a spell to locate the bad guy. And the guards weren't going to let us in there at first. Now, to my character, those guards were stopping us from saving the world. They were bad people.
Right. No, I get it. That's chaotic good, is what that is. Chaotic good. Someone who is chaotic good believes in doing what is right according to their own beliefs and values.
That would be my character. So she thinks that, if someone's talking too long or they're taking too long and we're on a time crunch, threatening them to get the information quicker is the good way to go in her book versus actually just talking.
Okay.
So it's like, tell me what I need to know or I'll kill you.
What is the phrase I'm thinking of? The ends justify the means. It's kind of that, right? Yeah, like if the ends justify the means, it means that the means are whatever it took to get to the end goal. The end goal, like you said, like if you're interrogating somebody and it's not going fast enough, like I'm going to kill you if you don't tell me what's going on. I think that's a pretty good definition of that. What kind of character is that you're playing?
She's a shadow sorcerer.
What level is that?
Apparently she's
15. No kidding.
yeah.
Oh, I am so jealous. I bet that's fun playing at that level. I have one group that's at 6th level and one group that's at 8th level. So we are so far. How many years did it take you to get to 15th level?
So this was supposed to be. Oh, my brother just followed. Hello. So this was supposed to be a one shot that has been going on for over a year now. So we started at 14. So I mean, it's been about a year, a little more, a year. But I mean, we started high because we wanted to play around with high level characters.
That's fun. I should do that with one of my crew. Hey, I'm checking your Twitch stream right now. I'm going to send you a message. Tell me if you get this.
Yep, I see that.
Yay! That's cool. I don't think anybody's watching mine, but that's okay because I'm just a new guy.
If I wasn't streaming, I'd come.
I should, I did one, I didn't do a Twitch, but I recorded a show I did an unboxing of the Curse of Strahd, the big box that looks like a coffin.
Mm-hmm.
I should have done that on Twitch. That would have been cool. Could have got my feet wet. All right. So we said we were going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We were going to talk about alignment a little bit too. So, so it looks like, should we go through the alignments real quick for those who may not know? If we did it really fast. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I did not pick up. I said, yeah, go for it.
We'll just do it really quick because maybe there's people who are just thinking about playing and they haven't jumped on the boat yet. But they
haven't played yet. Don't steal from your party.
Don't steal from your party. Here's some of the different alignments that you could pick from, and maybe this will make them play. Like, maybe they're like, oh, I don't know how to play, blah blah blah, and then they hear this, they'll be like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to play. I'm gonna be this guy. Okay, so we'll do it quick. So there is lawful good. Someone who is lawful good believes in discipline and their obligation to do the right thing. For them, the right thing includes the law and traditions of their society. To me, I always think of paladins.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, and then that was my very first character once I came back to the game. Was
you played a goody Two Shoes?
I did.
How'd that go?
His name was Hundor Torin. Hundor Torin. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. But I always had to be the rest of my party, because we had just started playing and everybody wants to be a badass, killing everybody, just being a tough guy. And so I picked this lawful good, not realizing how hard that was going to be to play when you think about that you had to talk everybody out of doing bad stuff. Because you're straight and narrow. And they're just going to do it anyway. And then you had to try to stop them. And yeah, so it was a good time. Okay, lawful good. Sorry. Neutral good. Someone who is neutral good believes in doing good for its own sake, regardless of what anyone else says on the matter. Such a person is difficult to motivate by authority. They will go against the law of society if that is what is right.
That'd be more like a vigilante type of, I feel like.
Let me read it again, and I'll think of vigilante. Someone who is neutral good believes in doing good for its own sake, regardless of what anyone else says on the matter. Okay. Such a person is difficult to motivate by authority. They will go against the laws of society if that is what is right. I think you're right. Yeah, I think so.
If they think there's an unjust government, they're gonna go against the government because it's good.
Right. Or again, when I think of vigilante, like you just said, anyone who, like, if they don't think the cops are doing, if they don't think that apprehending the person by means of the lawful way of doing it, they're just going to go do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Law into your own hands type of situation.
Yeah, exactly. Chaotic good. Someone who is chaotic good believes in doing what is right according to their own beliefs and values. We talked about that already. They believe in their own sense of right and wrong and will follow that regardless of what society or law thinks of them. Okay. Lawful neutral. Someone who is lawful neutral believes in order and discipline. Such a person might consider following laws, traditions, or their personal code as the best way to act honorably and morally. That's interesting.
That might be like a family code.
Yeah. So lawful neutral, it's almost a juxtaposition or a juxtapose. It's like a jumbo shrimp. You know what I mean? Like lawful, but I'm neutral.
I'm just thinking of like a shrimp as a joke.
So yeah, it just sounds funny. Lawful neutral. True neutral. Someone who is true neutral might believe in, let's see, making sensible decisions above all else, while people who are good generally make for better neighbors than those who are evil. A true neutral person doesn't have strong feelings about honor or justice. A true neutral person might also have a personality that they believe they would not getting involved is the best action. I could see that.
Yeah, that one's kind of like a bystander.
Right.
Yeah.
Who just doesn't care?
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion one way or the other. All right. Chaotic neutral. So this is whenever I think of chaotic neutral, I think, to me, neutral is just neutral. But if you're chaotic neutral, you're like super neutral. Like I'm crazy about being neutral. Like I can't ever picture that in my mind.
Isn't that so? The neutral is you don't feel one way, good or bad about things, so you don't care. But then chaotic is that?
I don't know. It always sounds crazy. Okay, here's what it says. Someone who is chaotic neutral believes in doing what they want. This person makes decisions according to what suits them best and hates being told what to do. Those who are chaotic neutral are not interested in killing everyone they meet, but they also are unlikely to join any crusade for justice.
So it's kind of like a selfish hermit.
Right. Yeah, I think even in that first line, someone who is chaotic neutral believes in doing what they want.
I feel like people read that first line and then.
No, you're right. I think they do. And they're like, okay, I get it. I'm just going to do whatever I want. All right, here we go. This is a lot of these are very juxtaposy. Lawful evil. Like that doesn't.
There are laws in this here evil lair.
I'm going to be evil to the point that I'm going to follow all evil laws. Someone who is lawful evil believes in getting whatever they want. I'm sorry. Someone who is lawful evil believes in getting whatever they can out of society. Such a person believes in order and will work within the laws as best as they can to get what they want.
So that's kind of like using the laws your advantage.
Right, like a politician. Like making laws that will help you to move forward in life. Interesting. Neutral evil. Someone who is neutral evil believes in getting what they deserve. They do not care much about either law or life and consider both to be either obstacles or tools in to use in pursuit of their goals. Kind of sounds like almost like the same thing as the other one.
That almost sounds chaotic neutral. It's just, does it make it evil if their end goal is considered evil?
Right. Well, here's chaotic evil. You ready?
Read it to me.
I know. Here we go. Chaotic evil. Someone who is chaotic evil believes that the satisfaction of his desires is more important than anything else. A chaotic evil person enjoys cruelty for its own sake and revels in destruction.
Yeah, that's going to be your big bad.
That's your big baddie right there. Chaotic evil people consider both the lawful and neutral evil alignments to lack the strength of character to be who they truly are.
Almost inspirational. Yeah. Be the true you.
Right? Funny. Okay, so anyway, that's all the alignments. So if you're on the fence whether you're going to play or not, and you just watch this, I bet one of those appealed to you, and now you're going to want to play. But with that being said, how often do you notice that even maybe just yourself as a player, but how often do you notice when you're DMing that people forget and don't play their character's alignment?
Honestly, this is something I should pay attention to. As both a player and a DM. But I have noticed that sometimes people are saying that, they're neutral good, but then they're okay with murdering a traveler. And I'm like, that's not correct. That a good person wouldn't do that. That's almost an evil person. That's not even neutral.
Right. I have that happen a lot, and like you said, sometimes I'll bring it up, but I notice that people forget, like they pick an alignment, and then, like you said earlier, they just read the first line of something and then they just play their character. But a lot of times I notice that people play and their character mirrors their personality. I know them as a person, and I know they wouldn't do this or would do that. And they start to play their character that way. And I catch myself constantly reminding people to make sure that you're playing your character to your alignment. And the same thing, they're just like, oh, I didn't think about that, or I forgot that was my alignment.
Have you ever done an alignment shift on somebody because of all the actions that they've taken?
No, but that's interesting. So you forcibly make them change their alignment?
I haven't done it, but I have seen that other people have. Someone had a neutral character that was a murder hobo, just kill everybody. And the DM would get sick of it and would actually shift their alignment to evil.
That's very interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to it. And I think too, if a character is playing, or a player is playing their character that way for a long time, and you do that to them and they're like, oh, no, that's fine, I'll go back and I'll play it the right way, it's kind of too late. Like, now you have a history of bodies that you've left by the wayside because of the things you've done. You can't just go back. I think now you have to play it this way.
Ain't no video game.
So I'd be totally down for that. I think that's a great idea.
Yes, so I think the alignment is something I need to pay more attention to as both a player and a DM.
Yeah, I think a lot of times I'll just let things go because it's interesting to the story if that character's doing something, but it may not match their alignment. And then that's the other thing. Like, are you in the middle of the game, or are you like, hey, now your character wouldn't do that because I know the alignment? Do you just let it? You just have to kind of let it happen. I think that's too metagamey if you stop in the middle of doing something.
Usually, you can make them stop and think if you. Sure.
I hate. Are you sure? It goes along with the other thing I hate is when somebody says they're going to do something, like when it's their turn, and then other people try to talk them out of it. Or are you sure? Or don't you also have this spell? Or are you sure you want to attack with that? That drives me insane. And I will stop the game at that very moment. And, I had to always explain the reason that player is announcing what they're doing is so that I know as the DM how to handle the situation. They're not announcing it in the middle of battle so that they can get the opinion of everybody in the group. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. You don't get to have an opinion. Now, if the character said, guys, I don't know what to do, like, that's fine. Then let's have a group discussion. But I hate it when people step on other people's characters, their movement or their play or whatever it is that they're announcing that they're doing. And I'll always slam the brakes on the game and stop that. I hate it when that happens.
That is actually something it's probably good to do, and maybe I think of in our games that might happen a little bit, but that might be more of a they're asking for an opinion. It's Tingles in my chat says he has a lot of issues with this one as well, where other players are talking them out of what they want to do.
I'm at your Twitch right now.
Do you see in the chat there?
I see had a lot of issues with that one too. Oh.
Yeah.
You meant that there was going to be a list of things that they had put in.
Oh, I mean, chat can feel free to chime in if they want. I encourage it.
Had a lot of issues with that one too. I wonder which one they're referring to.
Probably the players talking players out of popped up.
Oh, is that when it popped up? Okay, so now I have on this side of the screen you and me. And then on this side of the screen, I have you and me, but on your Twitch. And there's a crazy delay.
A little bit. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a delay.
It's Tingles. So it's Tingles. How did you handle that? Are we assuming it's Tingles is a DM?
He is not. He's.
I gotcha. I see a yep. It's Tingles. How did you handle that when that came up? Okay, I got to go back over here. It's too weird watching the delay.
Yeah, you got to give him a minute to type. But I'm assuming he was a player, so however, I don't know if the DM would have handled it.
Well, to all you DMs out there, squash that as soon as it happens. Let your players do what they want. I think it's more fun when they do something silly or goofy and nobody in the group gets a chance to stop them, because let's just let them do it and then let's see what happens and then we'll deal with it. A lot of the times it's really fun or interesting, or it's a learning experience for that character or that player to do something. They just call something out and they do it, and then there's repercussions. Maybe they won't do it the next time. Let them learn.
There was one time one of my characters tried to subtle cast read thoughts, and failed my stealth roll. So I just was standing in front of the window.
Okay.
And they were all like, "Don't do that," and they had to make a roll to yank me out of that window.
Wait a minute. So you were standing in front of the window. But would they have known that somebody else was trying to cast that on you?
I was trying to cast it on them, so I didn't trust these people. And they were like, "Oh, don't do that." And they're like, "I'm gonna do it subtly though, from a window." And okay, roll me a stealth roll, and it was 2.
That's funny. Oh man. All right. Let's see. Is he saying anything back yet?
No.
Our whole show is pivoted on it's Tickle. Wait, what was it? Not Tickles. It Tingles?
Tingle. It's Tingle. Tiggles.
Our whole show right now is based on his answer. Their answer.
Maybe he
does he know that he's brought our show to, I keep saying he, I don't even know who it is. Do they know that they have brought our show to a screeching halt?
Shame on you, Tingles. Okay, we're going to move on.
But what happens if your character just can't help it?
Like the character or the player?
No, the character. What if, because we were talking about.
Oh, so like when Percy has like the demon thing going on.
Right.
And I feel like that's a little bit of a gray area, and I guess it would depend on the closeness of that party at the time. If they were like, if I feel like if this person knew the whole time that they had this issue and then didn't bother to tell the party and then it came out, I feel like the party would feel betrayed and really annoyed. Player and the person at that point. So like Percy, he didn't seem to know that, like he knew, but he didn't. Like he had this weapon, but I don't think he knew it was a demon act.
Right. Well, okay. So let's take that and then, but he knew when the demon was taking over, right? Obviously, it's not like he blacked out and then came to and is like, oh, what happened? Like, why are you guys all scared of me now? So I get it that his weapon, he didn't know that the weapon had the demon in it.
So I think part of that is he was so bent on revenge. The demon was feeding off of those emotions already there. So I don't actually think he was
okay, so you think that like when he would come to, he'd be like, God, I was so mad and I was so full of hate and revenge that I was just mega super mad.
Yes, Tingles says in the show that Percy did not know it.
That's true. My when I brought that up, it was the party's reaction. Like, I'm surprised the party didn't just flat out try to save themselves and just take him out. And again, I realize that's not how the show works. But if it was a campaign at my table, I would have to, knowing my players, I would have to think they would have attacked him. So that's why I brought that up. I was speaking from the party side of it, not Percy's side of it.
So I feel like my party, with the knowledge that the player was not in control, would try to restrain them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they couldn't, I feel like they would kill the player.
Yeah, like if this trait's been going on for a while and you realize that you're carrying, it doesn't even have to be Percy. It could be anything that one of your party members is doing that's annoying you. If it's been going on long enough and you start to realize that the characters, it's out of their control, then yes, I think that takes a different trajectory. But maybe the first time it shows up, and he turns on the party, or the player turns on the party, I would just assume that they would attack. I know I probably would.
But if the player was playing a character that willingly was doing something to go against the party, it came out as a surprise, like, I don't feel like it matters how far into the campaign they are. The player was willingly doing it, the party would immediately kill them. Versus something like that situation where the player was not in control.
Right. So we're talking about, that's really two different things. You're talking about willingly doing it, or the trait is something you can't control.
Yeah. So I feel like the willingly doing it is the thing that's going to annoy your party.
Right. Well, right. But also the unable to control it might. Like, what if you're playing with the character that has Tourette's, and every time that you're trying to sneak up on somebody or sneak around, and all of a sudden, the character blurts out a bunch of cuss words, and your sneakiness is over, and you've been spotted by the city guards, and it happens every freaking time. Like, that would be annoying, but the character couldn't help it.
I feel like the party would prepare for this because it is something that they are aware of versus the suddenly evil person that is coming out of nowhere.
Right. Well, true. And it's your own fault because you brought a Tourette's person with you to try to sneak up on the castle.
I think you can just catch that word.
Yeah. But they can't help it either. So you want them to come have fun with you and your party as you storm the castle. Somebody just has to put their hand over their mouth or cast a spell on them, a sleep spell, and then you just drag them along behind you.
Here, let's do one little flip at the end. What is something that you've enjoyed that someone has added to their character?
Okay. It kind of goes both ways, because like I give out inspiration points obviously for cool things that people do, but I did have this one player who he was mentally off his rocker a bit, and he would just out of nowhere just have these conversations with dead family members. And it was so funny because it would happen and he knew to do it at the most unopportune time. To just all of a sudden be talking to like a dead mother or a dead grandma. And I always thought that always made me laugh every time it happened. I thought that was cool. I enjoyed that. How about you?
I had a lot of fun with character. An example is every time they went to a tavern and they'd order a drink, they would steal the cup because they assumed that they paid. You didn't give the cup back.
Oh, I love it. That's really good. Was that your character or that was somebody?
No, that was a different character. But and it was just little things like that where you would think they stopped at someone's house and this person gave them tea and he thought that this person was giving him the teacup. Like he had a collection of cups that he had been stealing.
Right.
But he thought was his because it's social etiquette. You give the stuff back when you finish the drink because you're only giving the drink. But he's like, oh, they've given me this whole cup.
That's pretty good. I like it. So is that like anything? Like if they ate food, they would take the plate and the silverware?
Yeah, they were like, oh, I paid for this. This is all mine. And they also would pay for things. They collected teeth. And you try to pay for things in teeth.
In teeth? Okay.
Everybody's carving the monsters. They'd be like, oh, I'm going to look for this or I'm going to that. And then this person's like, I want the teeth.
Just give me the teeth. That's funny. I'm trying to crunch my ice. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun talking about alignments and traits, and we're in an hour. Look at us. We stayed on topic for the most part.
Yeah. A little off in the beginning with Halo, but
we did. Well, we probably did.
We definitely did. So,
upcoming shows. You know what? I gotta close out with all the other stuff too. With this stuff, I still get it wrong. This stuff, I got to do that a little bit. We were talking about doing a show where we were going to invite some people on to just kind of jam and have a conversation and just talk D&D stuff. Do you think people would want to do that with us?
Yeah.
Because we're so cool.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to be with the most rad nerd?
Right? And Ahmnestria, Mistress of the Dark.
And
I always want to say it that way. Ahmnestria, Mistress of the Mistress. I screwed it up. Oh, what else? Ahmnestria, evil. I don't know. I'll think of something. Anyway, do you think people would want to do that with us?
Yeah.
I could probably round up a person or two.
You can. I know I probably can. So
okay.
If you grab your people, I'll grab my people.
I got a guy.
We'll just shove them together.
Yeah, that might be kind of fun. All right, so stay tuned for that. I don't know when it'll happen, but it'll happen. Let's pay some bills real quick. I want you to talk about all of your stuff. So you start with yours.
My stuff?
Talk about all your social media stuff.
All right. Well, we're gonna have this pretty much the same name everywhere as the Ahmnestria that you see on the bottom here. So you guys are on my Twitch right now. So obviously you're on my Twitch. I am working to become an affiliate, and that's pretty exciting. I stream this stuff. I stream video games, and there's gonna be art coming up and stuff like that. To stay up to date on my Twitch stream, I want to go to the Twitter. Probably the Twitter is going to be more active. Twitter it's the Ahmnestria name with just an underscore at the end.
Yeah, it looks like you got some stuff going on here. Let's see. What are you talking about? Tune into my Twitch around 7 p.m. tonight. Catch myself in the always rad Benito. Oh, that's sweet. So you're on here quite a bit as far as driving people to your Twitch.
Yep.
Okay.
I am trying to be that social networker.
What's his name is taking over Twitter. Elon is going to change the whole thing, so it's going to be easier for you to be able to reach out to people. He's going to get rid of all that BS that's on there, all the stupid stuff, and he's probably got you in mind.
You like this promoted tweet? Looking at it.
All right, let me pay some bills.
Okay.
All right, so you're out of here, sister. Okay, so if you head over to Synergy Nation Network, which is synnation.net, there are tons of really cool shows over there. And I always talk about all the different ones. And I was on here the other day, and let me share this with you people so you can see what's going on, where all the rad people hang out. Are you going to ever hang out over there? We should get you on the network at some point, huh?
I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm in the Discord, or no, it's a different Discord.
No, well, it is. All right, is the screen moving? Because I can't see it.
Yes.
Okay, so if you go over to Synergy Nation Network, the most rad place to hang out, well, because me, the most rad nerd, don't worry about all these other shows. Just ignore them. just watch my show. I'm just kidding. There are tons of really cool shows on here, whether you're into movies, music, comic books, anything that's pop culture. There are a ton of shows. All of these shows right here. After the credits. What is this one? Mine in Plastered? Am I saying that right?
Mine and
right? That's how I say it. Okay, the Weekly Geekly, which is the flagship to Synergy Nation Network. They kind of started the whole thing. Lucian has got, and his crew have got a really cool show. So always check in on the Weekly Geekly. Galactic Driftwood Podcast. Those guys do all kinds of really fun stuff that is sci-fi related. Go RPGs. Again, it's super awesome. Make sure you check that. Oh, let's click on it. Just see what it looks like. Oh, look. D&D stuff. And there's a couple of shows on there. The show that you and I did is on there. The show I did with my friend Josh Roush, the Ghost Hunter, is on there. There's so much rad stuff. Anyway, so head over here, check out all the shows. Anytime anything new.
Free the butthole.
Free the butthole. Anytime that something new goes up, it goes on the front page here, so you can go straight to your favorite show. So, alrighty. I appreciate that you are on here again. We'll do another one. We'll come up with a cool topic, or maybe the next time we'll be with all of our friends. I wonder how many people I can share this with. Like, what if we have like 20?
How many people can you have in here?
I don't know.
What is our limit? How many friends can we have?
It probably says somewhere in there that says you can host like 10 people or 20 people. I don't know. But yeah, we'll do that. And we'll just talk about cool, fun stuff that's related to our sport of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, nerd stuff.
Nerd stuff. All right, I'm going to sign off. It was very nice having you on the show again, Ahmnestria.
Wave goodbye to the Twitch stream.
Bye, Twitch stream.
Bye,
Thanks
everybody. Thanks for watching.
They tuned in to watch you, and they had to put up with Benito.
No, it's a win-win. It's win-win.
It is a win-win. All right, everybody. Stay rad, and we will see you next time.